welcome you this evening to Israeli Stage's reading of The Hearing. I'd like to introduce you to our fearless founder and our doubly fearless leader. I met this young man about 7 years ago when he was still a senior at Emerson here, and I thought, who is this person? And over the course of the last half decade, I've learned who he is. And I think that what you're about to experience tonight is a representation of not only who Guy is, but where he comes from. He's Israeli, he's also an American, he's a great thinker, he's a terribly creative person, and I can't wait for you to meet him. Please welcome Guy Ben-Aharon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to share with you just that 7 years ago in the Back Bay at the Goethe Institute was the very first Israeli stage reading that took place. We had no idea what was going on. We had just announced that we were doing a reading of an Israeli play by A.B. Yoshua. My advisor here, Amelia Ben-Susan, who chairs the department, said only 20 people will show up, so don't have expectations, and 100 and some showed up, and we had standing room only, which showed just the hunger for this type of theater going on. Today, in our times today, we're dealing with issues in the United States that Israelis are dealing with and have dealt with for over 10 years under the Netanyahu administration. And I just want to share a statistic that I read recently with a Pew study, which is that in a 38-nation median of 58% of people said that they believe freedom of speech is important without censorship from the government, which means that a little over 40% think that we can have a censorship of speech. Tonight's performance really examines our role of freedom of expression and freedom of expression in educational settings. So I want to thank again Laura Gordon-Fisher and Lee Pelton for co-hosting this tonight, for Jeff Weiss of Lesley University, for Larry Summers of Harvard University, and for Anissa Asaibi George, Boston City Councilor at Large, for joining us tonight for what is sure to be a provocative dialogue. So without further ado, enjoy the performance.